Today I have the Thrunite T1. Now the T1 is actually the prior version to the updated T1S, and I'll do a little comparison contrast for these a little bit later in the video because they're similar but different beam profiles, things like that. So if you're debating between the two of them because they are the same price, stick around because a little bit later I'll talk about the similarities and differences between the two of these. But for right now, let's just talk about the T1. Going over some basic stuff on it, this light is $39.95, some links down below, you can check that out. Looking at the basic construction up here in the front, there is an anti-reflective glass-coated lens, you can see there. Behind that is an orange peel reflector, not too deep, and that Cree XHP50 LED, and the combination of all this with that reflector gives us a pretty floody beam, which they say will throw the calculated distance of 102 meters. It is IPX8 rated, like pretty much every light these days, so it's going to be plenty tough. Up there in the front, there is this kind of aluminum-looking bezel, pretty big bezel. Nothing fancy there. A mild heat sink back here on either side. On this side is the charging port, which is micro USB. Kind of a dying breed, thankfully, but micro USB charging. On the other side is the button. We'll come back to how that button works. The button turns on and off. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Moving down from here is the pocket clip. This suffers from the standard Thrunite pocket clip pore form. And the issues with this pocket clip, you can see it is bidirectional, which is nice. But down here, the tip of this clip is kind of stuck down in this little indentation here. So every time you put this into your pants, your pocket, wherever you're carrying it, you're going to have to lift this up because you are not going to get any type of material down in that little space there. This could definitely be improved by using a clip like the Thrunite clip here, where you can see it kind of angles up that way, and this slides into your pocket very nice and easy. Also, this clip is over a smooth area here, and as mentioned, the clip on this one is kind of down in that indentation. So to fix this, they could either shorten the clip up some, which would make for a pretty short clip, or they can do that and kind of make that sort of angled style clip. But this clip, like many other Thrunite lights, is going to have that same problem, and I do not love the clips. The clip is removable. If you are so inclined, you don't like the clips, it is a tip down only carry. Clip only goes in one spot. And on the back here, it is magnetic, so you can stick it on stuff if you are so inclined to mount it on a refrigerator or hood of your car or wherever. But that is the back. No button back there, just a magnet. On the inside, it does come with a Thrunite 18350 battery there, 1100 milliamp hours. Inside of the light, normal stuff. O-rings for the water protection, and we'll seal this back up. Talking about some of the other stuff that this light comes with, it does come with a micro USB cable, which is, again, I usually say a bad thing because everyone has a million USB cables, but I definitely don't have as many micro USB cables around my house, so I guess coming with another of these would be useful if you're going to get this light. Comes with a standard goodie bag, which includes a lanyard and an extra cover for the charging port, and of course, some instructions, which we will cover here. The light does come in black, dark green, and red, so you can choose your color. Now, let's look at the interface. As I mentioned in so many flashlight videos, if you are familiar with any modern flashlight, you will likely be able to work this light with a slight caveat. Like with any other light, if you long press it, it comes onto the moonlight mode. That is a half lumen that it will do for 12 days. In the moonlight mode, if you hold it down, you long press it, it will go into lockout mode. You can see it goes into lockout mode. The button here flashes, and you can see you now can't turn it off. And you can see you now can't turn it on, and this lights up red to show you that it's in lockout mode. To get it out of lockout, you again hold it down, and it comes back on to that moonlight mode. Now, if you just click it on, single click it, it will come on to whatever you turn it off on. In this case, I have it on the low, which is 15 lumens, 35 hours. And the way that the user interface on this is different than other lights is that this has a ramping infinite brightness. And you do that by, you just hold it down, and it ramps up. At the top, it will flash to show you this at that top, 685 lumens. And then you can hold it back down, and it will ramp back down just like that. For me, I don't love the ramping ones. I like the ones that have these stepped brightnesses, just a personal preference. Some people like the ramping because you can get, any brightness that you want anywhere in the middle. And then from any brightness, as with any other light, you can double click, and that gets you to that turbo 1500 lumens, which it will do for 3 minutes before ramping down to 408 lumens. Also similar, triple click, and that gets you the strobe. When you're charging this light, the button here will light up red to show that it's charging. When it's fully charged, it will light up blue, kind of like this. And also when you turn it on, this does come on briefly to show the charging status. So if it's blue, it is 21 to 100%. If it is red, 10 to 20%, and flashing red below 20%. It just gives you an idea when you need to charge this thing. It is overall a great size here. You can see how small it is in the hand. It will certainly hide there, and this will go into your pocket and you will forget that you have it because it is such a small, great little EDC light. Nothing tactical about this. The user interface on this is totally everyday carry type thing. I suppose you could go to that turbo, which by double clicking if you needed something. But this is a plenty bright light, but again, more of an area light, more of a flutter than a thrower. Now looking at a comparison between this, the older T1 and the newer T1S, some similarities and differences. As I mentioned, same price, $40, $39.95. Up in the front here, the LEDs are different. This has that LED down in that orange peel reflector, and this has a TIR lens. And the T1S has a much more focused beam, and they say that this will throw the calculated distance of 184 meters versus 102 meters. So again, just very different beam profiles between these two lights. Some people like a floody light, some people like a throwy light. Just depends on what you're looking for. The brightnesses are different. The T1 is 1500 lumens. The T1S is 1212 lumens. You're not really going to notice that much of a difference. Again, because the beam profiles are so different, you're not going to really be able to fully appreciate that difference between these two lights. The candela difference is also much different. 2600 for the T1 and 8460 for the T1S. So again, you're going to get a lot more light on target at distance with the T1S. They both have the magnetic back. They both have the same style pocket clips that I don't love. So both great lights between the two of them. One of them a little bit newer. They do both get warm. The heads get warm if you have them on, especially that turbo for a while. It does tend to get warm, but you're not likely going to need that for that long. And if you're going to do something where you need something that bright, well, you might need to carry a bigger light. But as an EDC light, this is plenty fine for its purposes. Some other similar comparisons might be this Olight S1R baton. This is actually the Baton 1. There's a Baton 2 that's out now that I feel like I've had, but I'm not sure where it might be. So just pretend that this is the Baton 2. Just tell yourself that. Similar size. These lights are, again, similar ballpark size to each other. The Olight is more expensive at $59 versus $40. The Olight is in the middle of the throw. So the T1 throws 102 meters. The Olight throws 145 meters, and the T1S throws 184 meters. So again, just depends on kind of what sort of distance you're looking for. The pocket clip on the Thrunite is medium good. Definitely going to be easier getting it into your pocket, and it's going to be kind of a medium deep carry. But again, just something else to consider in the same ballpark of light and size, but more pricey. Little, again, kind of just some different options there. So overall, both great lights. The T1 and the newer T1S, similar but different. Same design, same size, different beam patterns, different LEDs. Really just depends what you're looking for between the two of these. I'll put some links to them down below, and you can check them out. Thanks for watching.